Hello, it's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
Donald Trump and I met many years ago, before he was running for anything. When I first met him, I recall being struck by how down-to-earth he was.
Oh, my God.
He seemed like just a normal guy. Okay, a normal guy with his own plane and helicopter, but who's counting? I was planning a medical mission trip to Guatemala to perform charity eye surgeries, and we needed money to fund the trip. Donald Trump offered to help and immediately came through for us. Not only did he support my medical mission to Guatemala, but he also contributed to another mission trip to Haiti a year later. We performed hundreds of cataract surgeries in both countries. Nothing is more amazing than removing the bandages from a person's eyes and watching them as they see their loved ones again. Donald Trump helped me make that happen.
Flashback.
He was asked whether or not he would be capable and it would be in good hands to be in charge of the nuclear weapons, and all of a sudden there's a sideways attack at me. I think that really goes to the judgment. Do we want someone with that kind of character, that kind of careless language to be negotiating with Putin? Do we want someone like that to be negotiating with Iran? I think really there's a sophomoric quality that is entertaining about Mr. Trump, but I am worried. I'm very concerned about having him in charge of the nuclear weapons, because I think his response, his visceral response to attack people on their appearance, short, tall, fat, ugly, my goodness, that happened in junior high. Are we not way above that? And would we not all be worried to have someone like that in charge of the nuclear arsenal?
Mr. Trump.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there.
Oh, Jesus. Flashback.
I want to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute. I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you like this guy.
Whatever he does, he accuses everyone else of doing. The man cannot tell the truth, but he combines it with being a narcissist. A narcissist at a level I don't think this country's ever seen.
And my concern is that he would grab up that power and really treat the country as sort of his little bully fiefdom.
Donald Trump is everything I taught my children not to do in kindergarten.
He's been exploiting working Americans for 40 years.
He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
He says he's for the little guy, but he's actually built a lot of his businesses on the backs of the little guy.
Hey, Kelly.
You know, Donald Trump the other day said that, quote, if he tells a soldier to commit a war crime, the soldier will just go do it.
Pompeo.
And I don't think Donald Trump has even read the Constitution, knows what's in the Constitution.
A toxic mix of demagoguery and mean-spiritedness and nonsense.
I just cannot support Donald Trump.
Until I can.
Donald Trump is a delusional narcissist and an orange-faced windbag.
Donald Trump is a con artist.
He doesn't know the difference between truth and lies. He lies practically every word that comes out of his mouth.
I think he's a kook. I think he's crazy. I think he's unfit for office.
Oh!
Oops. Somebody needs to tell him that we were rolling tape. Oops.
It's refreshing to hear all those people tell the truth.
Oh,
once.
my God. So, look, everybody that was there last night is ethically challenged. Each and every person, including Abby Johnson, the Planned Parenthood lady, you know, they had me make abortion quotas. Abortion has a smell. You know, gallbladder surgery has a smell, too. So does, hip replacement surgery. So does, open heart surgery. What the hell was that about? I honestly, this woman, Abby Johnson, I'm going to play you clips of her. Yes, I'm watching the story in Kenosha, just so you know. Jacob Blake, is the man who was shot 7 times in the back by police. There was just a press conference by the mayor of Kenosha. They're blaming Facebook. They're blaming Facebook for what happened last night. And if you don't know what happened last night in Kenosha, it's happening all over this country. And it's because of Donald Trump. It is literally because of his white supremacist nature. It's because he plays into people's hatred and fear and loathing. That is what Donald Trump is all about. Making you afraid of something and then making you hate what's making you afraid because it's making you afraid. That's who Donald Trump is. That's what Donald Trump does. That's how he sells you, Donald Trump. Anyway, in Kenosha last night, just like in Idaho yesterday, in Boise, Michigan before that, armed vigilantes, militia guys, okay, are infiltrating Black Lives Matter protests. In Boise, the armed militia, Eamon Bundy, remember Eamon? Yeah. His whole, white, far right-wing, crazy group, they stormed the Boise legislature yesterday, some of them armed. They broke glass, they broke doors, they broke a window. They plowed past the state troopers protecting the Capitol, the legislature, without masks on or anything like that to protest COVID closures in Boise. Because all they know is get your gun. That's all they know. It's ingrained in them because it's what Donald Trump told them. Second Amendment remedies. And he eggs them on. Now you know what happened in Michigan. Those protesters went to Lansing and they threatened to behead the governor, Gretchen Whitmer. We all know that. It's a stark difference when you have people in Boise trying to get into the state legislature to speak or to listen to legislation that's being passed that has to do with LGBT or anything of that nature. They are never, and they just stood in the hallway silently in Boise, the people who wanted to get into the legislature to hear a debate on whether or not LGBT people would be treated equally. They were not permitted in. But these armed protesters were admitted in after they broke a window and after they were armed and took on the state troopers. The Speaker of the House in Boise said, all right, let them in. I mean, it's very sick. Anyway, these militia groups also infiltrated a Black Lives Matter protest for like the 90th time in Kenosha last night, egged on by a Facebook page that was calling them to action. A call to arms is what it said on this Facebook page. The self-described militia referred to the Black Lives Matter protests in Kenosha who are reacting to the slaughter. I mean, he's not dead, but he's paralyzed from the waist down, of a dad named Jacob Blake, who was trying to break up a fight between two girls. So when you're trying to break up violence, the police shoot you. But when you're a militia guy and you infiltrate Black Lives Matter's peaceful protests, the police egg you on. They were throwing water bottles at this militia, this armed militia group that infiltrated, telling them, we're really glad you're here. We're glad you're here. Giving them water, giving them water. Anyway, one of the guys, 17 years old, ended up shooting 3 people and 2 are dead. Go to RandiRhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.